Hold on, intro. It's intro time. Shush. Everyone shut up. We got other stories to get into, including let's jump into another story here. Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, let's talk about Baldur's Gate 3. That's Lorien Studios versus Ubisoft. This is gonna be fun. I'm gonna have some fun with this. Matt, have you played? So you've played Baldur's Gate 3, right?
Yes, but I've started like 300,000 campaigns and have finished 0.
Same.
That's my That's my only problem with that game is that you start with a new character, you start from the beginning, and you just cannot. You can't make any meaningful progress if you want to redo your character or if you want to change anything. You can get through Act 1, maybe a good way into Act 2, and if you want to be done with your character, you just have to start over. I have not even seen Act 3 of this game outside of like clips and videos online. Have either of you guys
You can reclass?
Oh, and I mean, I know, but
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, but I always wind up making a new character instead. It just makes it in my mind. It had always made more sense to do that, even though I think I was wrong.
Yeah, you're probably wrong.
One way sounds
that's
way harder, but yeah.
Isn't there that like skeleton guy you find?
Yeah,
yeah, Withers.
Yeah, Withers.
He is a wither. All right, let's talk about the story. So, Baldur's Gate 3 developer blasts Ubisoft sales strategy. Quoting, if gamers should get used to not owning their games, then developers must get used to not having jobs. I love that. That's such a great take. Like, first off, I've always liked hard copy, and I understand why that's not going to be the case anymore going forward. I do think that there will still be a market for it, but I think that market's just going to get shut out of inconvenience for the studios and for the developers. So, there will always be people who want to give you money to own a physical version of their game. If you decide not to take it, that's a different story.
Yeah, not a whole lot of physical media around these days.
No, but
I mean, I'm part of the problem. I buy everything fucking digitally.
So
absolutely.
So the guy who's talking about this is Michael Dose. He's the publishing director of publishing for Baldur's Gate 3, and its developer Lorien Studios. So basically when Prince of Persia, The Last Crown came out, it really, really underperformed. It did so bad. Ubisoft has already stepped away from the project. There's rumors that the developing team have already been disbanded and shut down. So
yeah, I played a little bit of this.
Yeah, was it free?
I think it was a demo version. I'm not sure. But, I mean, it just played like a generic-ass fucking side-scroller. It's like, if you want to do Prince of Persia, you got to do like a full AAA release kind of thing.
And, you know, not to segue, but one of my main, like, things I value, like what just happened with Black Ops 6 was that they really tried to reinvent stuff. They added sprinting backwards to the game.
Sprinting backwards?
Yeah, I didn't do it. It's not a mechanic I utilize very much.
Have you tried that in real life?
They have take hostage. Yes. Yeah, actually, like running backwards is something that actually you do in gym class.
Oh yeah, it's hard as fuck.
But then yeah, they had taking hostages in Black Ops 6. They have counterintelligence where you could basically be an operative of your opponent's team. You show up on their mini map and your title, your name icon is highlighted differently for them. So Call of Duty, like Treyarch, actually tried to make progress with a franchise that's been around for 20 years. So that was cool. It doesn't seem to be the case that Ubisoft is really reinventing mechanics at all.
I don't know. It's every AAA now plays.
They're throwing names. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just got IPs. They
add a new name, a new skin to everything, new projects, but none of them are really beloved. And then so basically. Yeah, so once this project came out, Michael was just calling them out on basically everything they're doing sales strategy wise. You have they haven't really released a successful game in a while. He points to Far Cry 6 as their last successful game, and actually, let's see if I can find his quote on that. Go down. Okay, so here we go. So Michael, what's his name? Michael Dosh. Is that what I said it was? It's not on here.
It's Douse.
Douse. Thank you, Michael Douse. The last notable game on their. Let me zoom in for the audience. Make that visible. All right. The last notable game on their platform was arguably was arguably Far Cry 6 in 2021. The Crew, Mirage, Avatar came in 2023, didn't perform, so you could assume subscriptions were at a lull when
Prince of Persia.
Thank you. Prince of Persia released 2024, which means people wouldn't be launching their store all too much. If it had released on Steam, not only would it have been a market success, but there would likely be a sequel because the team are so strong. It's such a broken strategy. The hardest thing is to make an 85 plus game. It is much easier to release one. It just shouldn't be done as it was. So Ubisoft made a good Prince of Persia game so of course it disbanded the team shortly after release, says PC Gamer. So his reaction was to the PC Gamer article talking about that.
Yeah, the game wasn't hated or anything.
No, it's just people are tired of like subscription based games or like games as a service. I would probably never do that. Like get a game that's a subscription as a service. Like I don't.
Well, you're not big into MMOs, so.
I'm really not, but also I don't think anyone can really make a strong case to me that it's worth it. Like, you don't pay monthly, or like you don't pay monthly for like the MMO you like, which is Knights of the Old Republic. Like,
yeah, I do.
You pay monthly for a copy of that or to play that game.
Yeah, there's like
what happens
once you actually do that and like play for a month. I think if you go back to not paying for a subscription, you still have a lot of shit unlocked from when you were playing for it. So I don't think I'm paying for it right now, but.
Well, that would
be. You need that subscription to actually play it, or you?
No, there's a free.
Optionally.
Yeah, it's optionally. But if you want more shit, higher levels, more content,
okay, so
pay for it. But base game is free.
It's a subscription variant of the Battle Pass system where you get loot, you get stuff for paying into it monthly, because the Battle Pass system updates every month too, and then you just pay it one time basically. I think there are some games that do a subscription based version of the Battle Pass, but I don't know what they would be.
People want that back in My Hero. I was reading about it on Reddit, and people were like, bring back like the pass, so you like the premium where you get paid for it and you get more shit.
I wouldn't mind paying. So
I mean, it is completely optional.
Ultra Rumble is actually a game that I would pay money for. The problem with Ultra Rumble is that you can't use a lot of the characters that you would pay money to have. And the Battle Pass system moves really slow, rolling cards. Like, I've put 100 hours into that game now, and there's still a lot of characters I can't play as, which is frustrating.
Yeah, well, that's because you suck.
Fair enough. That's just honesty. And
do better.
All right, let me ask you guys in the audience: do you guys like honesty in your media? Do you guys like knowing that I am shit at My Hero Ultra Rumble, even though I'm not? So Cody,
I'd say you're bad at most things, but
fair enough. Matt, did you ever play? You didn't play Ultra Rumble. I actually asked you this the other day when we were in Discord, I think.
No, sir.
What I mean, do you play any MMOs? Like what MMOs are you on right now, or would you ever play?
None. But I've tried going into several of them. Like I tried the Amazon one. There's one that's like super similar to that one as well.
Is that a new world?
It's always the combat. Black Desert was probably the one I put the most time into, because the combat was like, it didn't feel like MMO combat.
Yeah,
just click this,
flashy.
click.
That's how WoW is playing right now. It's super boring.
Yeah, so boring. Like I need fluidity in my combat.
Yeah, I really liked like when it comes to combat in video games, I think the game that aced combat, like a perfect 10 out of 10 game for combat, is probably For Honor. I think the For Honor combat system is beautiful. I think it's perfect.
Yeah, it's just the characters can fucking piss you off.
There's definitely a meta because different characters do different things. But yeah, I still think the mechanic, if you had every character was fighting the exact same and it came down to pure skill.
That's what Chivalry 2 is.
Right.
It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
I would probably equate Chivalry's combat system more to, wouldn't you say that Chivalry's combat is more similar to Skyrim than it is to For Honor? There's no lock-on system in Chivalry 2. So like and Skyrim doesn't have a lock-on system.
No. I think on the entire spectrum of like, you went For Honor, we'll say, is on the left side of the spectrum, and
no, For Honor has to be on the right.
On the right side.
I'm hung up on this. For Honor has to be on the right because it's good. Sorry.
Yeah, anyway, there's the left and the right side of the spectrum, and then you went Chivalry 2 like right in the middle. Like, no, I don't think it's similar to Skyrim, because you actually have like directional attacks and all sorts of different.
It's way more engaging than Skyrim's.
Fair.
Skyrim's left click.
Right. That one's boring as fuck too.
All right, fair enough. I've only watched Chivalry 2 being played. I have not sat down and played it, so I defer to you guys on that front. But the way the mechanic operates seems like, from an outside perspective, it seems to be the case that it looks more like what would that Skyrim.
There is more skill to it than just swinging around and hoping you hit new players.
But you mean you could master the mechanics, the combat mechanics of Skyrim too. It's
super easy.
Yeah.
You master them of For Honor. I would say it's closer to For Honor than Skyrim.
Yeah,
by far.
You think so?
You have a parry system that if you parry the wrong direction, you just die.
Or there's
you're dead.
There's certain timings to parries.
Oh, I guess that's true
like
too.
Parry attack. There's a fluidity to it. Skyrim, you master it in the first hour of playing it.
Right.
Because it's all your mechanics right there.
Right. Okay, so fair enough. And this is my fault. I am the cause of this.
Ignorant piece of shit.
All right, so
head out of your ass. It's not a hat.
So the direct quote from Deuce is, if the statement gamers should get used to not owning their games is true because of a specific release strategy, sub above sales, then the statement developers must get used to not having jobs if they make critically acclaimed games, platform strategy above title sales is also true. And that just isn't sensible, even from a business perspective. So it's the you subscribe versus getting the sale. So the one-time sale of the product, you're going to do better if you get the one-time sale of the product than you will if you get the monthly subscription variant of it. And then because if you sell on your platform, so Larian Studios, I believe, like Baldur's Gate 3 launches out of a Larian Studios like portal. So you download Baldur's Gate, you launch it from a Larian Studios portal. You can launch it out of Steam directly too. So, but I don't believe I think what he's saying is you can only launch these Ubisoft games out of the Ubisoft portal because you can't launch it from Steam.
I don't play a lot on
Steam,
PC,
so that's my understanding of what he's basically breaking down.
It comes out of my PS5 portal is what it does.
Right. So then sales all-time peak of 1,400, 24-hour peak 119. There's 70 players in this game right now. This chart looks like very similar because we've definitely seen it before with other Ubisoft products. I don't think Ubisoft is a dead studio. I think every mistake they're making is entirely avoidable.
Well, yeah.
They're close to dead.
Yeah. They probably know how to fix it, they just don't want to.
And that's a big problem. That's not great. You don't want to do that. All right.
I don't know. I kind of gave up on Ubisoft. I played majority of their games and franchises, and now I'm just like, I don't fucking care.
They're all copy and paste now.
Right.
I think Far Cry 3 ruined them.
Far Cry 3 was like,
because it was really good, and then they were trying to recapture that magic ever since.
Well, they did, but the thing about Far Cry 3 that seemed to be the thing people loved was the villain and the story. Yeah, like Far Cry 3's mechanics weren't.
Nice. You like the tropical theme? It was pretty good.
Yeah, the map exploration the game loop was simple. It was find an outpost, fight. If you find a specific outpost, you're gonna fight differently, and you'll have a boss fight. The loop was simple. The fight
is basically find the bear or cheetah or whatever it is and release it on the camp.
Just skin it alive.
Throw the meat in there.
Yep. The Far Cry 3 was so much freaking fun.